Hello, everybody. Welcome to the MTG Place podcast, your place for all things magic. I'm Corey, and with me, like always, is James. How's it going, James?
I'm doing good. How are y'all doing tonight?
Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah. Weekend was good. Nice relaxing one for me. Didn't really do a whole lot. So, I cleaned the house. It was one of those weekends, you know.
All right. So, like always, this show is brought to you by a couple sponsors. First one is TCG Player. We're going to talk about the set review for All Is One, Phyrexia All Is One today. So if you want to pick up any of these cards, you can click the link in the show notes or on our website, mtgplace.net, and it'll let them know we sent you over there, and it helps us out. Second way you can support us is directly on Patreon, patreon.com/themtgplace. You can also just find that link in our show notes and on mtgplace.net as well, and that goes directly to us to support our content. We appreciate everyone who does so.
Hell yes. All support is amazing. It helps us, do stuff like this because, again, these are a little more time-consuming, and so any support is great, so we can do stuff like this. New set, huh?
Yeah, so it comes out. Next week is the pre-release, I think. So it comes out pretty soon. We're going to talk about all of the rares and mythics today in Wooburg order.
Yep, that are not reprints. If there are any in this one, I'm not sure if there are not, but
I did include the couple reprints there is.
Okay.
In this set, so we will be talking about those. If you want to find out the Commander review, that was our previous episode, so go check that out. Yep. So James, you want to start us off with White?
I would love to, and our first card is a pretty big one. So we have a new Praetor, ladies and gentlemen. It is herself, Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines. It is 4 and a white for a 4/7 legendary Praetor Phyrexian Praetor creature with vigilance. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control a trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities of permanents your opponents control to trigger. So ETB matters is hella insane with this.
Yeah, it doubles your ETBs. It doesn't. It actually doubles more than just your ETB, because if your ETB triggers another permanent that says when something enters, that'll trigger twice because it's something entering causing it to trigger, and then it torpor orbs your opponent's stuff.
Yep, which is great.
This
card is nuts.
Yeah, if you haven't seen how nuts this card is, they actually played this on game nights. They all did a Praetor. And he played this before, when this card was spoiled. So before, so it's not even out yet. But it shows how busted this card is. People are already talking about that they should ban it, but I'm like, I don't think it's that good.
It's not good, that good, but
you could, obviously you could just remove it. Like, it takes 5 mana to cast it still. So
yeah, it's this is definitely like, if you thought the original Elesh Norn was good, like, this is another level. Like, the other one dealt with creatures, which is important, obviously, in Magic, but triggers is, you can do so many crazy things with triggers. Like, there's so much potential with this card. It's insane.
Just having Sun Titan trigger twice.
Yeah, and that's already a crazy trigger to begin with. It's like, you get 2 things back from the graveyard.
Or Flicker Wisp, you can blink 2 things.
Yeah, blink 2 things. There's so much potential with this. Drawing cards, there's so many things that, like Elvish Visionary, making you draw cards. There's so much stuff that's really useful that this can, this can be the vehicle for that. So many decks can build around this. Not just something like Brago, which is the obvious one, but there's many other ones that can also benefit from this too.
Yeah, this card is bonkers. You will be seeing it a lot. Probably the card
you will see this, especially in Commander.
All right, so going on to the next card here, we got Kemba, Ka Enduring. It's 1 and a white for a 2/2 legendary creature cat cleric with whenever Kemba or another cat enters the battlefield of your control, attach up to one target equipment you control to that creature. Equipped creatures you control get +1/+1, and it has pay 3 white white, create a 2/2 white cat creature token.
Okay, so you basically have almost like a Stoneforge kind of effect in a way. Plus, your equipped creatures get buffed. Plus, it makes tokens.
Yeah, so I can see you playing this in, like, if you have the cat deck, you're probably playing this anyway.
Yeah, tribal, obviously. It's a really good cat.
If you're playing an equipment deck, you're playing this. If you have a deck that meshes the two, that's really good.
Definitely playing this.
I think if you play this as a commander, you're probably going the equipment route, and you just have the ability to make tokens to throw the equipments on.
Yeah. Like you're definitely playing Stoneforge, and then you're playing like the swords and like Batterskull and Jit and all the good equipments, obviously. Yeah, it's very cheap too. It's only 2 to play. Like that's awesome. It's basically that's a Stoneforge cost too.
Yeah, 2 for a 2/2.
So, yeah, it's a good card. Definitely. I feel like this can be played in a lot of stuff as well. Next up, we have Might Overseer. It is 3 and a white for a 4/2 Phyrexian soldier creature with first strike. It also has, as long as it's your turn, creature tokens you control get +1/+0 and have first strike. And then it has 3 pay 3 Phyrexia and a Phyrexian white. Create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature token with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block.
Yeah, so Toxic 1, for people that don't remember, it's if it hits them, they get a poison counter.
Yeah, but it doesn't do the wither damage.
Right, yeah, it's just if they get hit by
it doesn't have
damage, you get
infect. Yeah.
So this is good in a token stack. I mean, honestly, you're probably playing this, like, you'd probably put this in your deck. It's just giving all of your tokens +1/+1 first strike is good.
Yeah, anything that can do first strike or something like that is always awesome. Or any kind of buffs.
And the ability to just pay 3 and 2 life, make a 1/1 that can't block, but you're going to swing with it. So it's going to be a 2/1 first striker.
In a deck like that, you're not really going to care that it can't block. So
right,
you're okay with that.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Next up, we got Mondrak Glory Dominus. It's 2 white for a 4/4 legendary creature Phyrexian Horror. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, create twice that many of those tokens instead. And it has pay 1 white, Phyrexian white, sacrifice 2 other artifacts and/or creatures, put an indestructible counter on Mondrak.
Okay, so it gives itself indestructible.
Yeah, this is doubling season that you can pay 1 and 4 life and sack 2 tokens that you made to make it an indestructible doubling season.
Yeah, that seems good.
Except for I guess it's more like parallel lives because it's only the tokens.
Yeah, it's only tokens. It's not counters.
Yeah,
but that's still very good. It's less than doubling season. It isn't a creature though, so that can have downsides. But you can make it indestructible. So
right. So
hard to deal with.
Exile it anyway.
Yeah. So in a way, if you do pay the extra 1, it is the same cost as doubling season, plus with the 4 life you have to lose if you don't pay the 2. Yeah, very interesting card here. I like this.
I feel most decks though that you're going to play this in is going to be the mono white tokens or the green white tokens for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of the time you're going to play this out and you're just not going to activate. You're just going to leave 1 mana open and only activate that bottom effect if they try to kill it.
Yeah. Yeah. You only do it if they try to target.
And then once they do, it's indestructible forever.
It's not just to end a turn.
Like
it's
not like you have to keep doing it. So
exactly. Yeah. No, that's good. That's a good card. Very, very good.
It's a 4/4, so it's out of bolt range.
Yep. Also good. Can't bolt it. Next up, we have Norn's Wellspring. It is 1 and a white for an artifact. Whenever a creature you control dies, scry 1 and put an oil counter on Norn's Wellspring. Then it has pay colorless and tap it. Remove 2 oil counters from Norn's Wellspring. You can draw a card.
So this is okay. White card draw. I'm thinking you're probably going to put this in some sort of like aristocrat-y type deck.
Yep. Something that sacrifices or actually, is dies the same thing as sacrifice? I think that might be different.
Anytime it goes to the graveyard, as long as
okay, yeah, so that counts. Yeah. So yeah, that's good for this. Also, it can also be good in a token deck because it kind of gives you fuel if they deal with your creatures. You can just kind of keep drawing because that's a big part of a deck like that. Is if you run out of cards, you run out of steam. So it kind of keeps it going.
The only downside of this card is it's pay 1, tap, or remove 2 to draw 1 card. I wish it was just remove 2 counters, draw a card. Because you already got to get rid of 2 things just to do that. But I guess you are scrying 1 whenever something new dies anyway.
Yeah.
So
it's still helping you in a way.
Is trying to get more card draw, so this is a decent way to draw cards in white.
It definitely helps a lot. And this can definitely be a good engine based around creatures. So that's what a deck like that wants.
Next up, we got Phyrexian Vindicator. It is white, so 4 whites for a 5/5 Phyrexian Horn with flying. If damage would be dealt to Phyrexian Vindicator, prevent that damage. When damage is prevented this way, Phyrexian Vindicator deals that much damage to any other target. So
that's annoying.
They had to go ahead and make the counterpart to the Phyrexian Obliterator and make the white one, the Vindicator. So if you deal damage to it, it's going to be hitting damage somewhere else. So you got to just destroy it. You can't deal damage.
Yeah, this just needs to be just killed somehow. Yeah, fun. Love that.
Good card. I don't know how often you'll play it outside of mono white because 4 whites is
that's a lot of pips. Good luck. Good luck playing this in even a dual color deck. That's going to be painful. But mono white, oh yeah. Yep. Very good. It's 4 for a 5/5. I mean, come on. Next up, we got Skrelv Defector Might. It is 1 white for a 1/1 legendary artifact Phyrexian Might creature. It has Toxic 1. And then Skrelv Defector Might can't block. And then it also has pay a Phyrexian White and tap it. Choose a color. Another target creature you control gains Toxic 1 and Hexproof from that color until end of turn. It can't be blocked by creatures of that color this turn. So that's interesting.
Yeah, this is like the Phyrexian Mites that you're creating as tokens, except for it has an activated ability.
Yeah, it's almost like a mom ability, like in a way. It's almost like mommy.
So I think it's like the leader of the Mites. So if you make all the Phyrexian Mites. I don't know how many Mite cards are in this set, so I don't know if the Phyrexian Mite deck is going to be a real deck, but
yeah, maybe down the road.
It's definitely interesting. I mean, it's a cheap commander. If you wanted to play mono white, you could just try and get people in. Unblockable.
Yep. Very, very. That's good. Very cheap. And it has a lot of, stuff that it does. So that's pretty cool.
Next up, we got Skrelv's Hive. So it's that guy's hive. For 1 and a white, it's an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature token with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. As long as corrupted, as long as the opponent has 3 or more poison counters, creatures you control with Toxic have lifelink. Okay, so this is Bitter Blossom, but for white.
Yeah, basically. They just don't have flying. That's the only difference, really.
And they can't block.
Yeah. But again, with a deck like this, I don't think you care.
Right.
Because the whole point is
to pretty good enchantment.
Smack them. Yeah, this is not bad at all.
I mean, if you want to build the poison deck, you can play that and play this, and you're starting to get there.
You're getting there pretty fast, and there's plenty of other stuff that they've been releasing that'll definitely back this up too. So, oh yeah, that's not expensive and quite powerful. So, good stuff there. Next up, we got a Planeswalker here. We have the Eternal Wanderer. It is 4 white for a legendary Planeswalker. It comes into play with 5 loyalty counters. It has a constant of no more than 1 creature can attack the Eternal Wanderer each combat. And then its +1 is exile up to 1 target artifact or creature. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of that player's next end step. And then it has a 0 of create a 2/2 white samurai creature token with double strike. That's actually pretty sick. And then it has -4 for its alt. For each player, choose a creature that player controls. Each player sacrifices all creatures they control, not chosen this way.
Yeah, so for 6 mana, you can just immediately board wipe.
Just board wipe.
Basically.
That's not bad.
I like the 0, make a 2/2, and the +1 is a flicker. It's a good card. I just don't know if it's worth 6 mana or not. It's definitely going to stick around because they can only tag it with
right. 6 for Planeswalkers is usually pretty high, and outside of maybe Commander, that makes them pretty hard to be played.
I mean, but the red 6 mana, like the 6 mana Chandra was just bonkers, right? Like people still play.
Right. Yeah.
One that, they get an emblem where they take damage every turn.
Yeah. So it just depends on how crazy it is, basically.
Yeah, I don't think this is that level good. Because I think the floor is you're gonna especially if you're playing 6 mana, like the best case is you're board wiping for 6 mana,
which is fine. It's not the most cost-effective board wipe, but it's it's.
And then the next turn you can flicker something, but you better have good ETBs or make a 2/2 double striker.
Right. Which honestly, 2/2 double strike is not bad. That's a pretty decent token for 0. I mean,
this seems like a medium planeswalker. There's a ton of planeswalkers in this set, by the way. So.
We're gonna see a few. It sounds like.
We're gonna see a few. But this one is on the weaker end, in my opinion. But it's still good.
Yeah.
It's still playable.
It's fine. It's playable. It's just expensive. That's the main thing. It's a high cost card. Interesting how it's not a named Planeswalker. We don't see that very often.
Well, I think it's supposed to be the Wanderer is now wandering into the Eternal Wanderer. Remember the last one was the Wanderer, and what was that, Kamigawa?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do remember.
But I don't know. We still don't know who the Wanderer is, though, in the lore. So I'm assuming at some point they'll reveal who the Wanderer is.
We'll find out eventually. I'm being all mysterious about it.
Yeah. Next up, we got White Sun's Twilight. It's X white for a sorcery. You gain X life. Create X 1/1 colorless might artifact creature tokens with toxic 1, and this creature can't block. If X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures.
Oh, wow. That seems pretty good.
Okay, so think of it this way. How often can you get to 12 mana?
Depends on the deck.
Because if you can get to 12 mana, right, this is make 10 toxic 1 tokens, gain 10 life, blow up everything else. Then you're going to have to play a bunch of blockers or you're going to win the game.
Yeah. This is just a far better Martial Coup.
Yeah.
Way better Martial Coup. Essentially. Because that was basically the same cost, if I remember right, because it did kind of the same thing, but I just put in soldiers.
Yeah, it was just you put in soldiers, and
then if you paid 5 or more,
it actually does the exact same thing, except for
it didn't gain you life.
You don't gain life, and
didn't have toxic 1.
Yeah, the soldiers can block though. But yeah,
yes, they can block. That's true. But again, you don't care,
right?
Because this is a powerful card.
If you play this in the Elish Norn deck, or was it not the Elish Norn, the token doubler deck?
Yeah, you get a lot of stuff.
You could pay 7 for this and get 10 tokens.
Yep.
I think it's a pretty good card.
Yeah, this is very, very good. This will be played somewhere for sure. Definitely in Commander, 100% in Commander. And
I was waiting
probably
for it at the
elsewhere.
I was waiting for it at the end to say shuffle into the deck because it's a White Sun. What the heck?
I know. That's a Twilight, though. It's not a zine. I know. I was expecting maybe something like that, but apparently not. But it's still very good. So yeah, that's got to be seen. So that's White. White's got some good stuff.
I think almost every card is playable, right?
Oh yeah, every card's playable, and there's some of these that are very, very, very good.
Yeah, some of them are bonkers.
Yeah, some are a little more medium, but yeah, overall pretty strong start. So yeah, we're off to the races. All right, now we are on to blue. Our first blue card is Blade of Shared Souls. It is 2 and a blue for an artifact that's an equipment. It has 4 Mirrodin, so that is when this equipment enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 red rebel creature token, then attach this to it. Whenever Blade of Shared Souls becomes attached to a creature, for as long as Blade of Shared Souls remains attached to it, you may have that creature become a copy of another target creature you control, and its equip cost is 2.
So you have a 2/2 token that becomes your best creature on the board.
Yeah.
And then later on you could turn any creature on your board to the best creature on your board. It's not bad.
It's like a clone, kind of.
Yeah, but you can only hit your own, the best thing.
But I figure your side of the field, yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah, you can't do legends because of legend rule. But
obviously, yeah.
It seems like if you're playing that kind of clone style deck, I mean, it's a repeatable clone that they have to get rid of, right?
Right, and it's harder for them to deal with because it's just an equipment. So,
right.
Yeah, I think that's fine. It's a good card for.
And it's cheaper than clone. Like it costs 3.
It only costs 3.
And then after that, only 2. So.
Yep.
Next up, we got Blue Sun's Twilight. So I'm seeing a cycle here going.
Mm-hmm.
We got X blue for a sorcery. Gain control of target creature with mana value X or less. If X is 5 or more, create a token that's a copy of that creature.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. So I see these are all going to be kind of like the Marshall Coup style where the you pay 5 or more, it does another thing. That's what it's looking like.
Yeah, but I mean, so here though, you're going to want to pay at least 5 to steal something that's 5. So you're paying 2 more than whatever you're stealing. If you pay 5 or more, you get 2 of them.
Yeah, and you can overpay X because it says X or less. So you can get 2 copies of it.
Oh, that's true. So you could pay like 5 and then get 2 4-drops.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah. So that's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's decent. I don't know how often I'm going to want to pay 7 mana just to copy 2 things, but or gain control of one and copy it.
Right. Depends on the board state.
It definitely could be good if you want to like get rid of somebody's commander or something. Just
imagine just take control of 2 Blightsteals.
Yeah, if they're not
kill 2 people. Granted, that you'd have to have like what is it?
You'd have to be paying 13 mana.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of mana to do that, but
you'd be doing
it's possible, I guess.
Mana shenanigans with blue first.
I mean, blue has ways to do that, so you know.
But that
the right kind of deck could.
At that point, why wouldn't you just win the game instead of casting this? But
yeah, I mean, there's better ways to win. So I don't know. Yeah, this is okay. It's not the best, but all right. Let's see. Next up, we got Encroaching Mycosynth. It is 3 and a blue for an artifact. Non-land permanents you control are artifacts in addition to their other types. The same is true for permanent spells you control and non-land permanent cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. So it's just everything's an artifact for you now.
Yeah, so it's like there's like a 7 mana one that makes everything.
Mycosynth Lattice.
Yeah, so it's like that, but you only have to pay 4, but you don't get the indestructible part.
Yep.
But like it's still good if you're playing an artifact deck, right? Or if you just want everything to count as an artifact.
A lot of them do, so yeah, this just makes it better.
I mean, it's a very niche card. Like it's only going to be played in artifact decks. Or if you want this effect. Otherwise, you're literally not going to play this card. It's just
this is literally for artifact decks. in artifact decks that have like affinity or other things that
Right.
need you to have X amount of artifacts to do something. Some of them have that too. That's what this is for, and this is very good at that. So you will see it in that for sure.
Next up, we got Iker Moon Gauntlet. 2 and a blue. Planeswalkers you control have 0 proliferate and -12. Take an extra turn after this one. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose a counter on target permanent. Put an additional counter of that kind on that permanent.
Oh God. Okay, so another doubling season kind of effect here.
Well, this only adds 1.
Right.
So it basically proliferates one thing. So one, but like I said, because it proliferates every single thing, right?
Yeah.
But this is this when you cast a non-creature spell, you can uptick one thing. So this is good in like super mono, in blue Super Friends, all colors Super Friends.
Any kind of Super Friends is going to be great for this.
Because
for sure.
you cast a non-creature spell, which is a planeswalker. You're going to add a counter to something.
Yep.
Then all of your planeswalkers have 0. Uptick all of them.
Yeah, seems good.
And then if you get 1 to 12, you're just going to take extra turns.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like
And
crazy.
then you're just gonna
keep up it. Like, so if you have I said this is good if you have like 2-3 planeswalkers. You're just gonna be like, okay, one of them's just gonna keep upping one, and the other one's gonna keep doing stuff, or I'm gonna up, take an extra turn, up.
Like this is when you just take like a really cheap, otherwise kind of crummy planeswalker, and then just jam that out, and then just use that to proliferate or something.
Yeah, outside of a planeswalker deck, this is only okay. Like if you have a 1/1 counter deck or something you need to add 1 counter to here and there, you could play it, I guess, if you play a lot of non-creature spells. But it's obviously, I think you're not going to see this outside of like Super Friends.
No, this is made for Super Friends, totally. And even like a creature-based deck, that's kind of not great because you need it to be 9 creatures for the token effect to work. So yeah,
you're going to be heavy Super Friends and control the wazoo.
Yeah, definitely good in control to a point, but Super Friends for sure. Yes, this is what that is for, 100%. And speaking of Super Friends, here's Jace. We have Jace the Perfected Mind. It is 2 blue and a Phyrexian blue for a legendary planeswalker named Jace that has comes into play with 5 loyalty counters. He has completed, which is that's just for the Phyrexian counter. Okay.
Yeah, it's if you pay the Phyrexian life, you get 2 fewer loyalties when it comes in.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, yeah. My bad.
So he's completed. He's a completed now, so he's taken over by so he's evil Jace.
Yeah,
taken over by the Phyrexians.
Okay, so his +1 is until your next turn, up to 1 target creature gets -3/-0. His -2 is target player mills 3 cards. Then if a graveyard has 20 or more cards in it, you draw 3 cards. Otherwise, you draw 1 card. And then his alt is -X. Target player mills 3 times X cards. Ew, that's disgusting. So right off the bat, you can make someone mill 15 cards. Just boom. That seems good.
You could do that, yes. I think this is better if you just keep upticking it. And making it so they can't attack you with their big creature.
Yeah.
And then you're going to protect it until you can, mill them for like however many cards left in their deck.
Mill them for freaking 30 or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That seems pretty good.
I mean, -2 draw card isn't bad either.
Yeah.
And if you do get the super late game, you draw 2 cards or 3 cards.
Yeah, so. Drawing 3 for -2 is very good. So yeah. Pretty good.
He's good. I don't think it's super great.
No, he's not like the crazy Jaces we've seen in the past, but he's still.
But I do feel this is one of those planeswalkers you might actually just play for the completed, so you only have to pay 3 mana.
Yeah.
And then it comes in with 3 counters, and you just uptick -3/-0, -3/-0. It seems good in the control deck, like if you have any sort of like semi-board presence.
Yeah. For sure.
It's definitely going to be good in limited.
Oh yeah.
But
This
like
is gonna be
Commander, it's hard to
busted.
mill people 100 cards.
Yeah, that win con's not gonna work as well for sure. I mean, it'll be good like Nekizar or something like that for sure, but because that's another way to make people mill. But yeah.
Next up, we got the Mercurial Spell Dancer. 1 in a blue for a Phyrexian Rogue, 2/1. It can't be blocked, so it's unblockable. When you cast a non creature spell, put an oil counter on it. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may remove 2 oil counters from it. If you do, when you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. So
Okay.
get in twice, or no, get in once after casting 2 non-creature spells. Then
Yep.
you can copy the next one. That's good, right? Like just
Not
a 2
bad.
for a 2/1 unblockable is pretty good.
Yeah, that by itself is just
And
fine.
then with
Those
the
are decent
with the
stats.
upside of being able to copy something.
Yep. And we all know how blue and copying go hand in hand. They
Yeah, they
love to
like
do that. Shenanigans happen pretty quickly, so it's a nice, cheap, easy way to do it too. So,
I mean, and if
uh,
you just, it also fits in the rogue deck because you want unblockable rogues in that deck for ninjutsu and stuff.
yep,
Um,
this will fit that very well.
so it fits in that deck too.
So yeah, it's just a versatile card. It can do a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that blue likes to do. So, I feel like this, this will see a lot of play in lots of different scenarios. So, yep, expect to see that one. Next up, we got Mind Splice Apparatus. It is 3 in a blue for an artifact. It has flash. At the beginning of your upkeep, put an oil counter on Mind Splice Apparatus. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each oil counter on Mind Splice Apparatus. That is very good.
Yeah, this card is like that experience guide. Was it Mizzix?
Mm-hmm.
Except for on an artifact, and every upkeep, he's going to keep costing less. So I think once this is stuck on the board for 2-3 turns, this is just going to get out of hand, and your spell slinger deck is going to become crazy good.
And especially if you have proliferation in your deck, this is going to just go crazy. This is going to snowball.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, once you get the 2 or 3 counters on this thing, it's going to be like, okay, everything costs 3 less, so I'm just playing blue for my Mystic Confluence. I'm paying blue for my Force of Will. Like,
yeah, you can hardcast Force Will and not care.
yeah.
Which you never see normally. But yeah, this card is very, very good in any kind of spell-based blue deck for sure. So yeah, that's pretty great.
Next up, we got Serum Sovereign. It's 4 and a blue for a 4/4 Phyrexian Sphinx with flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on it. I'm sensing a theme here. Maybe we should just put these all in the same deck.
I know, right?
Pay a blue, remove an oil counter from it, draw a card, and scry 2.
That's very
That's
good.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit high costing up front on 5 for a 4/4, but once you get this out, if it sticks around, you're going to be drawing a bunch of cards.
Yeah, this has got a ton of value. And again, if you have like a proliferate deck where you can just proliferate all these oil counters like on all of your stuff, this is going to be very good. You're just going to be, just stacking up counters, and then you're able to, do all the scrying and drawing and whatever you want. So.
Yeah, and what is the card that does that? Is that Serum Visions? It's draw, then scry?
I think so, yes.
Because priority is scry, then draw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, you're casting that over and over and over, as long as you have an oil counter on this.
Yeah.
So,
which I feel like is not hard to do, especially if you build the deck right. So, yep, that's good. Next up, we got Tekuthal Inquiry Dominus. It is 2 blue for a 3/5 legendary Phyrexian horror creature with flying. If you would proliferate twice instead. That seems good with some of the other cards we've seen here. And then it also has pay 1 Phyrexian blue Remove 3 counters from among other artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers you control. Put an indestructible counter on Tekuthal Inquiry Dominus.
Okay, so this is now a commander you could play for a proliferate deck. You just build the whole deck around this.
Yep.
And getting 3 counters is going to be super easy, especially if you proliferate twice. If you would do it once, so you need one thing with a counter, and then play one proliferate spell, and then this is indestructible for the rest of the game until they exile or something.
Right, which they just have to source it or something, but yeah.
But it's 4 for a 3/5 flyer.
Yeah, that stat alone is great, and then its ability is great, and then its trigger ability is really good too.
And one of the issues with proliferating in the past is that it's just not fast enough. Like you just only get one. You only get one.
Well, now you get 2.
Now it's like you get 2. So
fast enough for you now?
Faster. Yeah, it's double the speed. So I feel like, I don't know, I'm sensing the mono blue Planeswalkers deck with this as the commander, maybe some of the non-creature spell cards that get foil counters. Seems pretty good right now.
Seems very, very good, yes. It's all coming together.
Next up, we got Unctus the Grand Metatech. It's 1 blue for a 2/4. Legendary artifact creature, Phyrexian Vidalkin.
Interesting.
Other blue creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes tapped, draw a card, discard a card. Other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1. And pay a Phyrexian blue until end of turn. Target creature you control becomes a blue artifact in addition to its other colors and types. Activate as a sorcerer.
All right.
So 2/4 that you can turn your other creatures into a blue artifact so that when they get +1/+1, and when you attack with them, you're going to loot.
Yeah. So you have creatures that draw cards, and they get +1/+1, and they what is it?
You can make them a blue
they become artifacts. So,
even if you were playing, you could be playing like a blue-black deck with this, and like, oh, my black creature is now a blue creature that's an artifact, so it gets both of these effects.
Yeah. And then, like, even in something like an artifact deck, this could be good. This has a lot of potential, a lot of utility. This can be played in a lot of stuff.
It's good in blue,
basically.
Too.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it could really find a home in like the blue-black decks, because you could play. I mean, obviously Nekusar is one, but like if you have the what is it, like Waste Not? Whenever you discard a card, you get a trigger, and like every single creature you attack with is going to loot. So you're going to draw, discard, draw, discard, draw, discard, draw, discard.
Just so you're just so much drawing.
And it's just when
drawing and Magic's usually
good. What's even crazier is when they become tapped. So like you could just have pingers. Yeah. It's like, oh, I pinged you for 1 with problems.
Yeah, you don't have to attack then. Just activate abilities or something, yeah.
Or like Merfolk Looter that just has tap loot. You now tap loot twice.
So you twice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, this is a very, very good card. It's cheap. First of all, it's not expensive, and it does so much. Like.
Yeah, and for all you people that like to just loot and dirtle, this is your card.
Yeah, this is the card to dirtle all. Yeah, dirtle all you want the whole game. Just draw your whole deck, and then you win because you do I drew my whole deck, I won. Like, that's a freaking deck.
Yep.
This would work on that.
Fast as Oracle or Labman.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that this works with. That it's just silly. So that's blue. Blue seems good.
Yeah, blue's got some good counters stuff and some looting stuff and drawing, and blue is being very bluey. I still think
blue is being very blue.
I think white's better so far, but blue is a close second.
Blue had a lot of like proliferate kind of silliness going on here, so I can definitely see the value, definitely. All right, so now we got black. First of all, we got Urk Fiend of the Dross. It is 2 black for a 6/6 Phyrexian demon creature with flying. Archfiend of the Dross enters the battlefield with 4 oil counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove an oil counter from Archfiend of the Dross. Then, if it has no oil counters on it, you lose the game. Oops. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, its controller loses 2 life.
So this is 4 for a 6/6 flyer. We've seen a few of these in the past. I think you can only play this in some sort of proliferator deck to add more counters to it or you got to win in 4 turns.
You better win quick. Otherwise.
But if you just stick this on the board for a while, just that bottom effect that they're going to lose 2 life and then you're attacking them for 6 in the air, that they're going to lose a lot of life fast.
Yep. Doesn't have haste or anything.
In a standard setting, you probably win before the 4 counters are up. So
this is a bomb, 100% in standard.
In like Commander, you definitely want to build some sort of way to.
You're gonna need to build some kind of engine,
or destroy it yourself or something.
Which black has kill spells, so you can easily do that too.
Or sacrifice it to like draw a bunch of cards or something.
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's plenty of that. So interesting card. Just don't let the counters go away, otherwise you're not gonna have a good time.
Gosh forbid somebody plays like Hex Mage against you.
Oh my god, that would be heartbreaking. Well, I guess I lose.
Next up, we got Black Sun's Twilight. So it's the black one of these. We got an X and a black for an instant. Up to 1 target creature gets a -X until end of turn. Okay. If X is 5 or more, return a creature card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
Okay, that's some utility right there.
So I'm going to kill your biggest thing, and I'm going to bring back my big thing. So far, I like this one the best.
I think this is the best one so far.
As the black player. The white one's good.
The white one was also very good, but this one's really good too. It's better than the blue one for sure.
Yeah.
And this one's an instant too.
I like this one the best just because I like black cards.
So. Yeah, I don't think the white one was a sorcery. I know for sure the blue one was a sorcery. I think that's the first one that's an instant.
Sorcery. Yeah.
So that makes it very good too.
Yeah, so you're gonna do it when they attack or something, and then you'll be able to untap with your creature you got back. So
definitely.
Very good kill spell if you have a lot of mana sitting around.
Yep, and black usually does. There's usually ways to make mana, so.
Cabal coffers and all that stuff.
Yeah, coffers, all that good stuff, yeah. All right, next we got Drivnod Carnage Dominus. It is 3 black for an 8/3 legendary Phyrexian horror creature. If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Then it has 2 black Phyrexian counters, or mana symbols. Exile 3 creature cards from your graveyard. Put an indestructible counter on Drivnod Carnage Dominus.
All right, so 5 for an 8/3 indestructible. Seems good.
Seems very good.
Triggering dying abilities twice seems really good.
In black, especially.
Yeah. Let me let my Kakusho die and it triggers twice.
God damn it. Yeah, you're going to put this in there, aren't you?
Zach.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. You lose 10 life now, and I gain 10 life each time it happens instead of 5. That seems good.
I mean, gosh,
that's going to chunk people really fast, even in Commander.
Gosh forbid you have like an aristocrat deck with like, whenever a creature dies, they lose a life. It's going to trigger twice. They lose 2. They lose 2. They lose 2.
Yep.
So it's going to get out of here fast.
Yeah, this is in black. This is a very good card.
This is a sweet card. I like that it's an 8/3. It's kind of weird that it's 3, but I like that you can make it indestructible to keep it from dying.
Yep. So even if they bolt it, you can just make it indestructible. Then you don't care anymore. So there's that.
Next up, we got Geth, Fane of Contracts. 1 black, so 3 mana for a 3/4 Phyrexian zombie. Other creatures you control get -1/-1. Pay 3 and tap it. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains. If this creature would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. Activate as a sorcery. So you're weakening all of your creatures, but then you can bring back creatures, and then when they die, they get
Yeah,
exiled.
it's like a dread return almost in a
It's kind of
creature.
like anime dead creature
Yeah.
guy.
So not bad. Yeah, you're weakening your board, which is not exactly ideal, but you're making it more sticky at the same time. So that's very good as well. So yeah, I feel like black would definitely like this card. As long as you're not playing like 1/1 tokens or something like that, then you're not going to want this. But
Yeah, you probably won't
any
play this. I feel
any
like
other
you'd
deck,
probably play
so
some sort of like black reanimator shell with this is your commander.
yeah, yeah. You just want to reanimate your big stuff or something like
Yeah,
that, like
because
your
like you go
shows.
like if you're reanimating Fusho, you're reanimating Archfiend of Despair or whatever. You don't really care if it gets -1.
Yeah, it's like it's already big. It's already
Yeah.
big. Who cares? It's not gonna matter. Just not for like tokens or something like that, because that's not gonna work as well. Next up we got Caromonix, the Rat King. It is white, one black for a 3/3 legendary Phyrexian rat creature with Toxic 1. Other rats you control also have Toxic 1. And then when Caromonix enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal any number of rat cards from among them and put the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. So, rat deck.
Yeah, so now I have a reason to play my Relentless Rats, and they all have Toxic
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, even better.
I mean, it's another rat commander. I think there was one before. This one's probably better than that one.
Yeah, I would say so. This has a drawing engine. This makes them have poison counters. Like, yeah, seems pretty good.
So if you want a Rat King, you want to play rats, here you go.
There's your card.
Next up, we got King Zoo of the Bleak Coven. 4 and a black for a 5/4 legendary creature Phyrexian vampire with flying. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may pay 2 life and exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a 1/1 with Toxic 1.
Okay.
So if your creatures with good static abilities die, you can bring them back as a 1/1.
Or activated abilities or anything like that. Yeah, and they have poison, so that's
Yeah,
fun.
so I'm figuring you'd have to build around this as like the commander or that kind of
Yeah, you're not gonna want to put any cards in this because that's probably not gonna work. But specific ones that have like certain utility to them are gonna work well with this, definitely. Oh, here's an old card. Hey everyone, it's Phyrexian Arena.
Yep.
So if you don't remember what that is, it is 1 black for an enchantment that's at the beginning of your upkeep. You draw a card and lose a life. So classic. Love to see it.
And this is a good reprint because I mean this card's up to $10 again already. So
Right. So this will bring it down, which is good
bring
because
it down.
there's no reason for this to cost a lot of money. It literally is a draw a card, lose a life. Like, come on.
It's interesting that this is going to be standard legal.
Yeah, that's gonna shake stuff up a little bit.
I 25, like it seems good for standard.
Yeah, it's very good for standard.
Good for
Yes, I would
trading,
love
too.
to draw some more cards.
Yeah.
Keep my deck going. Oh, hey, look, another reprint.
Yeah, next up we got reprint of my guy, Phyrexian Obliterator. Like I said, it's great in mono black. 5/5 Trampler. When a source deals damage to Phyrexian Obliterator, that source's control has to sacrifice that many permanents. So
Yep, this is a classic card again. Very, very, very good. In black, outside of black, it's pretty questionable because again, 4 pips. Good luck.
I like the art, the new artwork on it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, new artwork is sick. It looks really cool. So yeah, that's a good card, obviously, and it's been around for a long time. So good to see it again. Next up, we got Vran Executioner Thane. It is 1 black for a 2/2 legendary Phyrexian vampire creature. Whenever 1 or more other creatures you control die, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. This ability triggers only once each turn.
So it's a better blood artist type effect.
Yes.
Except for you can only trigger it once instead of
Yeah.
more than
So
once.
not less good in that sense, but
Still good. It's a 2 for a 2/2
it's a
though,
fine
but
card. Yeah,
you play it in that. So
for
also,
sure.
if you need a cheap vampire for a vampire deck to play on turn 2, you can play
Yep.
this.
It's a nice 2-drop for that. Works great for that.
Next up, we got the completed Vraska. So we got Vraska
Nice.
Betrayal Sting. It is 4 black and a Phyrexian black. Enters with 6 loyalty, or if you complete it, that like if you pay the life, it comes in with 4. So that's the completed, and then it has 0. Draw a card, lose a life, proliferate. So that's basically a +1.
Yeah.
-2. Target creature becomes a treasure and loses all other card types. So basically, you turn something into a treasure token, a creature into a treasure token. And then -9. If target player has fewer than 9 poison counters, they get a number of poison counters equal to the difference.
Oh God. So you basically just
So,
kill everybody.
well, no. So it's -9. One player gets 9 poison counters basically if they have 0, and then the next turn you proliferate and kill them.
Yeah.
But this
You
has got to
basically you.
live,
Yeah.
right?
If
So
it lives.
this is got to survive on the board like 3 turns,
Yeah.
4 turns if you want to be able to give them the 9 poison, and then a 10th one.
Yeah.
So
It depends on if you're, if you have this in like a Super Friends deck and you're able to like just to proliferate the crap out of the loyalty counters, then sure, we can maybe make this be quick. But
I think
otherwise, on its own, it's a little slower.
the best case for this is you're going to pay the 5. It's going to come with 4 counters. You're going to -2 right away. Make the biggest problem on the board be a treasure token, right?
Yeah.
And then the next turn you're going to proliferate and draw a card. And then the next turn you're going to make something a treasure again, and you're just going to keep that cycle. And that it's going to be annoying, and you make people's commanders a treasure token. They're going to stay on the field until they sack it.
Yep.
I mean, they'll just sack it for mana probably right away, but still, you're getting
Right.
rid of stuff for -2. Like you're going to be like, if this sticks for more than a turn cycle, you're going to get rid of at least like 2 or 3 things,
Yep.
or
And that's very
draw
good.
a couple cards. So
Yep. Yeah, it's just like the freaking elk. What was his name from the elk dude that turned your shit into elks?
yeah, that's better because it only costs 3. But
Right. Whereas this costs 5 technically, or 6, but
yeah,
yeah,
it's still good. This one's more playable than the Jace, I think.
yeah, for sure. The Jace had less
Like this is better than
utility to it.
Jace, in my opinion, and better
Yeah,
than the Wanderer.
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. All right, that's black.
Well, I think Black's really good.
Black seems very, very good, especially with the
I
reprints.
play
they
all
threw
those
in.
cards, minus the rat one, only in a rat deck. But
Yeah, this is a red deck.
I really like this
other-
Vraska.
Vraska's fun. It's a fun planeswalker for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in here. So yeah, gonna seeing lots of black stuff played in many different scenarios. Okay, so now we are on to red. So our first one in red is All Will Be One. It's the theme of the set. It's 3 red for an enchantment. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, All Will Be One deals that much damage to target opponent, creature in opponent controls, or planeswalker in opponent controls.
So you have to really build around this because
Yep.
whenever you're putting counters on things, you're going to deal that much damage. So you're going to want to be dealing damage all the time to make this worth it, especially if you're going to spend 5 mana on this.
Yeah, 5 mana is a lot if you're not able to really make this turn it. You want this to be like a machine gun, basically, if you're paying that kind of mana cost. So
Right.
yeah,
Like you're gonna want a lot of dorky things, and like you proliferate or something, and you
yeah,
have 5 things, and you're just like ping, 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 ping.
yeah. In the right scenario, this is like an insane gutter snipe that everyone will hate you for.
But again, you have to build around it, or else this is not good.
Yeah, yeah. 5 for only doing it every now and then is not worth your time.
Next up, we got Capricious Hellraiser. 3 red, 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 so 6 mana for a 4/4 Phyrexian Dragon. This spell costs 3 less to cast if you have 9 or more cards in your graveyard. Okay, then I can just play it for 3. Flying, when it enters the battlefield, exile 3 cards at random from your graveyard. Choose a non-creature, non-land card from among them, copy it, and cast the copy without paying its mana cost.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, especially if you can get it for 3.
Yeah, that's very good for 3. Granted, 3 red pips is a little hard to do outside of mono red, but it's doable.
You also got to be playing quite a bit of non-creature, non-land cards, like spells matter.
Yeah.
Because like you're exiling 3 cards out of your 9, so that means at least a third of your deck should be that, so that you have a chance of hitting one to copy.
Yeah, you want to hit something good, for sure. It's not exactly something you can just throw in dragons, for example, because it's probably not going to work as well there.
Yeah, it's really not going to work there.
This definitely needs the right kind of deck.
It's more of a dragon you would put in a spell slinger deck, I think.
Yeah. Next up, we have Dragonwing Glider. It is 3 red, red for an artifact that's an equipment. It has 4 Mirrodin, so it comes into play with that 2/2. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has flying and haste. And then it has an equip cost of 3 red, red.
So this might be the worst card we've talked about today.
This is pretty rough, unfortunately.
So base, it's 5 for a 4/4 flying haste.
Yeah.
I'm not excited about that.
Not really.
And then pay 5 to give something +2/+2 flying haste?
You're literally repaying the mana cost of the card.
Yeah, that's horrible.
That's rough.
Like, okay, even in a deck where you can cheat the cost, +2/+2 flying haste, I don't know if it's worth me paying 5 up front when I could just play another sword.
Yeah.
Or something else.
There's swords that cost that do way better than just.
Yeah, the swords cost 5 total and give you 2/2 pro from 2 things and an ability. Like,
yeah, a good ability.
You don't have to pay 5 again.
Yeah. You pay 2 or 3, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is bad. This is probably one of the worst cards. I don't see people playing this.
Why is this a rare? This is a bad rare. If you get this
is going to be the rare that everybody pulls and hates opening.
Yeah, you're gonna hate your life.
It's the rare that nobody wants.
Yep, this is definitely that card, unfortunately.
Next up, we got Koth.
Koth, yeah.
2 red, red for a Planeswalker Koth. It has 4 loyalty. +2, search your library for a basic mountain card. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Okay. -3, deals damage to target creature, equal number of mountains you control. Alright.
Nice.
-7, you get an emblem with whenever a mountain enters the battlefield under your control, this emblem deals 4 damage to any target. Okay, so this is really good in mono red burn.
That's sick.
Right?
Yeah. Mono red burn is loving this. Because not only are you dealing damage and what is it?
You're killing off creatures.
Yeah, you're dealing damage and also killing shit. You're also getting land. So you literally have a...
You're fetching the mountains out of your deck so that you keep drawing your lightning bolts.
Yep. Or whatever else you got. Very good. Very, very, very good for aggro red especially. But just mono red in general too. Just, yeah. That's a good card.
Yeah, if you could get it to survive two turn cycles, third one, get that emblem, then all your mountains are hit for 4.
Your mountains are just destroying people just on their own. That's good. All right, next we got Red Sun's Twilight. It is X red red for a sorcery. Destroy up to X target artifacts if X is 5 or more. For each artifact destroyed this way, create a token that's a copy of it. Those tokens gain haste. Exile them at the beginning of the next end step.
It's okay. You can blow
Not
up a
bad.
bunch of artifacts. You get to use them for a
Yeah.
turn.
Yep, that's okay. It's not the best. It sucks that you have to exile them. That's
Right.
kind of not great, but
I mean, it's still good if you need, get rid of all of your opponent's artifacts that are annoying. So
yeah. And then you can use them against them for one turn too, so that's kind of cool.
Blow up everyone's Sol Ring and get like 6 mana back.
Oh, so much mana.
All right, next up we got Rook, Hexgold Nabber, 2 and a red for a 2/2 Goblin Rebel, legendary creature. Has Trample and Haste. Whenever an equipped creature you control other than him attacks or dies, you may attach all equipment attached to that creature to him.
Oh, God. Okay, so equipment matters. This is very, very good.
Yeah, this is good in Equipment Matters deck because you just have him out, Trample Hasty. Something else dies, you can put it all on him.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, my germ token on my Batterskull died. Well, zoop, it's on him now. That's good. Or any swords, or anything like that. Yeah, that's a lot of good stuff that synergizes with this.
I mean, just 3 for a 2/2 Trample Haste isn't bad.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a great card, honestly. And then, with the equipment bonus, ooh, that can get spicy quick. All right, next we got Slowbad Iron Goblin. It is 2 and a red for a 3/3 legendary Phyrexian Goblin Artificer creature. It has tap it, sacrifice an artifact, add an amount of red mana equal to the sacrificed artifact's mana value. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts.
All right. So I'm sure there's some
red artifacts.
I'm sure there's some crazy way to get infinite mana with this.
Probably.
Because you'll probably stack an artifact, get the red, filter the red through another artifact, and then to make it mana to spend on anything.
Yeah, I feel like there's plenty. I think there's ways to do it. There's gotta be.
But so yeah, you're probably gonna play this in artifact deck just because like if they go to blow something up, you're like, all right, I'm just gonna add mana.
Sack it in response.
Yeah.
It's like a better Ashnod's Altar.
If you're in an artifact deck, yeah.
Yeah, in an artifact deck, to be fair.
Next up, we got Sulfin Mayhem Dominus, 2 red for a 5/4 legendary creature, Phyrexian Horror. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals double that damage instead. And then pay 1 red, discard 2 cards, put an indestructible counter on it.
All right. So doubling that damage, and then it's indestructible.
Yeah, I mean, double damage for 4 is good. I mean, Torbrain was played a lot as a standard card. This is better than that.
This is way better. And cheaper, too, I'm pretty sure.
It's the same cost.
Oh, okay.
Same cost. Well, Torbrain, I think, was 1 more red, but it was 4 mana. And it made all your stuff deal an extra 2. This is all your stuff deals double. And then you can, pay 1 in 4 life or 3 mana or whatever, discard 2 cards. Make it indestructible. So it seems good. I think Mono Red's going to be pretty good.
Mono Red's looking very, very good outside of a couple cards here. So, just so much damage. This is a lot of damage. Next up, we got Urabrask's Forge. It is 2 and a red for an artifact. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put an oil counter on Urabrask's Forge, then create an X1 red Phyrexian Horror creature token with trample and haste, where X is the number of oil counters on Urabrask's Forge. Sacrifice that token at the beginning of the next end step.
So at the beginning, the first couple turns this is out, it's going to suck. But once you get to turn 4 or 5, this has been out, people are going to be really annoyed because it's like, okay, do I block it? Do I take 5? Do I,
right, and it has trample, so
yeah, it's trample.
It tramples over. They can't just chump it. I mean,
this is going to keep getting bigger and bigger. If you can proliferate the counters in any sort of way, it's going to be even better.
Yeah. It's gonna snowball, especially if you have the proliferation
Yeah,
with
if
it.
you have some way to double the tokens or something, that's even better.
Yep.
Who swings
Which
in?
we've seen plenty of those in this set alone as well. So yeah, this can snowball fast if you have the right setup for it.
I think it's decent because it's like, I mean, like you would play something that made a 1/1 every turn, right? Like this is better than that.
Yeah, this is
So
way better. Guess it grows.
all right, next up we got Vindictive Flamestoker. It's 1 red mana for a 1/2 Phyrexian wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on it. Pay 6 in a red, sacrifice it, discard your hand, draw 4 cards. This ability costs 1 less for every oil counter on it.
Interesting.
So you want to get 6 oil counters on this.
Yeah.
Sack it when you have nothing in your hand to draw for.
Yeah, it's basically like a lion's eye diamond almost, but you have to pay 7 to do it. or just
Well,
make it
eventually it'll be
one.
1 if you just
Yeah,
cast
if you have the right
spells.
amount of counters on it.
So this is a slow way to draw 4 cards. It's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
I mean, it only costs 1. Like worst
Yeah,
case, they
one
kill
for a
you.
1/2. I mean, this is nice. This is a fine turn 1 drop, honestly.
Yeah, like if someone kills this, you're like, whatever. You killed my
Yeah,
1 drop.
you,
You
you don't
wasted
care.
a kill spell on it. Like,
That is a huge waste of a kill spell.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, sure, you might be able to draw 4 cards later on, but honestly, you probably don't really care about that when you play it at first. Like, it's just a 1/2. Like, that's a
Right.
fine 1 drop, you know?
And then late game, they're probably not gonna kill it. And then late game is like, sweet, I can refill my hand.
Yep, nice, easy refill. So yeah, that's red. Red's very good.
Yeah, it seems weaker
Outside
than the
of
other colors just because they have a couple bad cards, but
yeah, outside of a couple, yeah, this art,
the red cards that are good are really good.
yeah, the good cards make up for it for sure. Like, yeah, there's so many ways to deal damage and whatnot, and yeah, this is definitely gonna be a fun color to play. It looks like aggro's definitely got some good stuff going for it, along with artifacts. So good stuff there. So now we are on to green. Our first
This is
green
your
card.
favorite color.
Yeah, this is my color. I hope green is as good as the other colors have been because they've been pretty good. We got Bloated Contaminator. It is 2 and a green for a 4/4 Phyrexian beast creature with trample, toxic 1. Whenever Bloated Contaminator deals combat damage to a player, proliferate. Okay, that's pretty good.
All right, that's gross, right? Because if they take this, they're getting a poison counter, and then you're proliferating immediately.
Yep, you right away you get 2.
And on top of that, it's 3 for a 4/4 trample, 3 mana for a 4/4 trampler.
Yeah,
That's good already.
Crazy.
Like, I would play that in like a pump deck, and then it has toxic
Yeah.
1, and it can proliferate. This card's good.
Yeah, this is an excellent card.
I'm
Yeah,
playing this card in most of my
this
green
will
decks
be
now.
played pretty much guaranteed. So have fun with that one. I can't wait to have to see this. Gross.
Low CMC, and it has trample. That's what I
Yep.
want.
Oh God, so much going for it, man. All right.
Next up, we got the Conduit of Worlds. It's 2 green for an artifact. You may play lands from your graveyard.
Okay.
You can tap, choose target non-land permanent card in your graveyard. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you may cast that card. If you do, you can't cast additional spells this turn. Activate only as a sorcery. So this is Crucible of Worlds, but you can also flashback something from your yard if it's the only thing
for
you want
free,
to use.
basically. But you can't cast anything else then.
Yeah, that's good.
So if it's your best card, you don't care. Like,
yeah, because I mean, if you want the Crucible effect, you're going to play this anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Totally.
And you can still play lands. Like if you're playing a lands matter deck, you're just going to be like land, play Wasteland, get rid of your thing. Now I'm going to play something, search for another land.
Yeah.
Or play my other thing that you blew up from you blew up my Oracle. So now I play my Oracle, so I can play more lands.
Yeah. Or it's like, replay my cultivate or something, get more lands.
Yeah. Seems good in the lands matter deck, for sure.
Yep. Like landfall, something like that, for sure. This is very good in landfall, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life in the Loam. Ugh. Yeah.
I mean, just to be able to get back like your thing that they blow up that was winning you the game. Like, so you played Rampaging Bailoff. Okay, they blew it up.
Yep.
Well, now I can play it again.
Play land, replay it, have fun.
Yeah.
Off you go. Yeah, that's good.
And it's not like it gets exiled or anything after, so they kill it again. You can just play it again.
No, which is silly. It's better than Flashback because it doesn't get exiled.
Yeah.
Oh God! Like this you have to kill on sight basically. Otherwise, they're just going to keep replaying their stuff.
Yep.
Like, yeah, there's just no way to stop it otherwise. Yeah, that's good. That's a good card. And kind of gross, actually. Next up, we have Evolved Spinoderm. It is 2 green for a 5/5 Phyrexian beast creature. Evolved Spinoderm enters the battlefield with 4 oil counters on it. Evolved Spinoderm has trample as long as it has 2 or fewer oil counters on it. Otherwise, it has hexproof. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove an oil counter from Evolved Spinoderm. Then, if it has no oil counters on it, sacrifice it.
All right, so worst case, 4 mana 5/5 hexproof, attack with a 5/5 hexproof. Next turn, so that turn, whatever. So next turn you get attack with a 5/5 hexproof. Next turn it's a 5/5 trample. Next turn it's a 5/5 trample, and then it dies.
Yeah.
But
that's if you don't have a way to proliferate it or something.
If you have a way to proliferate it, so this is really good with the first card because you can keep proliferating the oil counters.
Yep, yeah, that's a good combo.
I mean, 4 for 5/5, that's cheap too. Like,
yep, another cheaply statted card. Oh God, Green's shaking up to be pretty good here. It looks like so.
We're gonna have some big beasts for cheap.
Big boys. I always love to see that.
Next up, we got Goliath Hatchery. 4 green for an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, it's an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 3/3 green Phyrexian beast creature tokens with Toxic 1. At the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent has 3 or more poison counters, choose a creature you control, then draw cards equal to its total toxic value.
So that's at least 1, if not more.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, I mean, 2 3/3s, Toxic 1. If you can get in once or twice, you're going to draw a card every turn. That's not bad.
Yeah. Definitely not.
I don't know if it's worth 6.
6 is a lot.
I feel like I would definitely play this if I had Doubling Season or something in fact. Because I would get 4 3/3s.
Yeah.
With Toxic 1.
This would be very good with Doubling Season. Then it's very worth.
Or lives or whatever.
Yeah, anything that doubles a creature token, basically.
Yeah.
But the card draw's nice for sure. That can honestly get out of control real fast. So they're probably gonna have to deal with that.
God forbid you have some big thing with if you're doing a toxic themed deck and you have some big thing like Toxic 3,
Toxic
4,
3 or something.
You're gonna draw a bunch of cards.
Yeah, you're really gonna You're going to just fill your hand.
If you have something that grants something toxic that already has toxic, they stack, so it becomes like Toxic 2 or whatever.
Yeah. So that's also good. Yeah, has potential for sure. In the right kind of deck, definitely.
Pretty cool artwork.
Yeah, it looks sick. I like that a lot. All right, next we got Green Sun's Twilight. It is X and a green for a sorcery. Reveal the top X +1 cards from your library. Choose a creature card and or a land card from among them. Put those cards into your hand and the rest onto the bottom of your library in a random order. If X is 5 or more, instead put the chosen cards onto the battlefield or into your hand and the rest onto the bottom. The rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This is literally just Green Sun Zenith, but different.
Yeah, it's a top X cards. So you're going to want to pay 5 or more so you can choose to put them into play. Because I don't know
Yeah.
when you would choose not to put the creature in play or the land in play.
Yeah.
Because it says you can put it on the battlefield or in your hand. When are you going to choose to put it in your hand?
Never. You want it in play always.
Especially at sorcery speed. Like, what?
Yeah. Or I guess green says he searched. I guess that's the difference. Whereas this is you're topping. Yeah. Still, that can be pretty good.
It's still what's good about this though is like you could just pick, because you could pay 5 and you can get like a 12/12, like a Blightsteel Colossus or something, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Green Sun, you have to pay the mana.
You had to pay the CMC. Yeah.
Yeah, where here you can pay less and get it if you have some big thing.
Yeah, but it's more luck based, so.
Right.
Yeah. If you have like top or something like that, then you know damn well what you're going to get. So, it can be mitigated, and then it's worth it for sure.
Next up, we got a completed Nissa here.
Yeah.
Nissa, the Ascended Animist. It is 3 green, Phyrexian green.
Jesus, that
comes in with 7 loyalty. It has completed, so for each of the Phyrexian greens, for each time you pay 2 life, it comes in with 2 fewer loyalty. So it could come in, if you pay 6 mana, it has 5. If you paid 5 mana, it has 3 counters. If you paid all 7 mana, it has 7 counters. Alright, so the +1. Create an XX green Phyrexian horror creature token where X is Nissa's loyalty. Okay, that's great.
That's pretty good, yeah.
-1, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Okay, that's good. -7, until end of turn, creatures you control get +1/+1 for each forest you control and gain trample.
Jesus, okay.
So that's mono green win the game right there.
Yeah, mono
Everything
green.
gets Blanchwood and trample.
It's basically Blanchwood with trample, yes, for each creature.
So you could pay 7 mana, immediately alt that, and just everything's getting like 7/7 trample.
Yeah.
And
honestly, that's a good 7 cost card. That's literally a win con.
Or you could play it for like 5, and you have a 3 thing, and you get it +1 and get a 4/4 right away.
Yep.
And keep plussing it like that. Like I think it's good no matter how you play it.
Yeah, it's a really good card.
I mean, the least likely mode's going to be blow up artifact or enchantment, right?
Unless that's very situational.
Yeah, there's got to be some annoying.
If you have to. Yeah.
But it creates a body to protect itself, and then eventually you're just going to win the game, like overrun. Yeah. Basically.
It's crazy overrun with Blanchwood.
Blanchwood overrun.
So when you're reading this, I'm like, damn, this thing's expensive, but okay, it's very warranted.
Yeah, it's very good, I think.
Very much stated where it's supposed to be, because that is very good.
Yeah, because I think no matter what mana you play it, you're going to get some sort of good ability, I think.
Yeah, it's good no matter what you play it as. Like, there's a lot of times where, like, once Planeswalkers get above, like, the 4 to 5 mana cost, like, they become less playable, but this is just an insane level that, if you have the mana, it's going to be good.
I do think you're more likely to play it for the 5 mana 4 life or all 7 mana more often than you are for the 6 mana and 2 life, because what at 5 counters you make a 6/6? Like a 6/6 versus a 4/4 isn't that big of a difference.
No, it's really not.
It saves you mana. So and paying all 7 is nice because then you can ult right away.
Yeah. If you have
if you're not going to ult it, you're probably just going to play it for 5 and then slowly make some bodies.
Like, you probably play for 5 if you don't have a board, or at least not a big one. So then you want to build it. So it's going to build your board. But yeah, if you have a board already, you're just going to pay 7 and win, essentially. Just win the game. So, yeah, this is good. This is a very good card.
Sweet Planeswalker.
This is like the best Planeswalker so far, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it is for sure.
Like, by far. Next we have Thrun, Breaker of Silence. It is 3 green for a 5/5 legendary troll shaman creature. This spell can't be countered. Trample. Thrun Breaker of Silence can't be the target of non-green spells your opponents control or abilities from non-green sources your opponents control, as long as your turn. Thrune has Indestructible. So this really just does not want to be targeted.
No,
At
so you get
all.
a 5 for 5/5 trample. You can't counter me. You can only target me with green spells. And I'm
Yeah.
indestructible on top of that if you do have a green spell that kills it. Unless it's not my turn.
Yeah, that's so silly. Holy
So this is
crap.
going to stick around for a while.
This is gonna be like good luck getting this off the field. It's pretty much a guaranteed 5, almost no matter what here.
I mean, really just board wipe, but
yeah, okay, yeah, board wipes work, sure. You're gonna, yeah, it's either you gotta global it or do some really weird trickery, pretty much. Because yeah, otherwise this is sticking around for the long haul.
Otherwise you're paying a fight spell and using your something bigger than a 5/5 to kill it.
Yeah, just gotta get a bigger creature. So yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Next up, we got Tyrannix Rex. Yeah, Tyrannix Rex, right? Not Tyrannosaurus. Tyrannix Rex. Okay.
Yep.
4 green, 7 mana for a Phyrexian dinosaur. That's an 8/8. Can't be
Big
countered. Trample, Ward 4, Haste, Toxic 4.
Toxic 4. Dear God, what is this? Remember that one card that, drew you cards for toxic counters? Yeah, here's your card that goes with that.
Yeah, draw 4.
I draw 4 every turn. Oops.
So, this is going to be kind of sticky because you're immediately going to play this, swing for the 8/8. If they chump it at all, if you get through it all, they're taking 4 poison.
Yeah. It can't be countered, and it has Ward 4.
Yeah, and it has
It's not
haste
leaving
and
the
trample.
battlefield ever.
And you're going to swing with this and get in for 4 poison most of the time, I think.
Holy shit, this card. This is
And
nasty.
if they're at like 8 life or less, they're just dead unless
They
they
just
block
die.
it a bunch.
Or if they're at
Gosh forbid they're at like 6 poison. It's
6
like, okay,
poison, they die.
Yeah, you gotta throw like 8 stuff into it to all die. Like,
oh my God, why is green so powerful? Holy shit.
gosh, you know what's even better is if you cheat this in.
Yeah.
No, I pay like Elvish Piper or something. Oh,
oops, here's an 8/8. Have fun.
Yeah.
Oh, you also get 4 poison counters. Sorry about it. God damn, man. Okay, that's good.
It's a good card.
I don't know how we're gonna top that one. Next, we got Venerated Rot Priest. It is 1 green for a 1/2 Phyrexian Druid creature with Toxic 1. Whenever a creature you control becomes a target of a spell, target opponent gets a poison counter.
That's disgusting.
Ouch.
Okay, so they're going to have to target this first no matter what, because
Yeah.
otherwise they're going to get multiple poison counters.
Oh my God. Okay, don't target my shit. That's
Wait. It's whatever creature you control becomes the target of a spell. So you can target your own stuff.
Or you can do it yourself. Yeah.
You can pump your own stuff and give people poison counters.
Oh God.
Let me play Giant Growth. You get a poison counter.
Giant Growth, Monstrous Growth,
Yeah.
Overrun.
Let me put Blanchwood Armor on here. You get a poison counter.
Oh my God. This is nasty, man.
Let me play Rancor. You get a poison counter.
Oh yeah, it never goes away. Good luck. Keeps coming back.
This seems like this is going to be a kill on sight card.
Yep, you kill this right away.
And then it's like, okay, you get a poison counter. Like I'll play this. They'll target it with a removal. Okay.
Like, how hard is it for like a green pump deck to play 10 spells?
But even get this, right? So if you play this in the deck, you're probably going to play a bunch of like my stuff gets hexproof, indestructible type cards for 1 mana, right? Or target permanent you control gets hexproof. So they go to remove this. You play that. Now they have 2 poison counters.
Yeah.
Because they targeted it and you targeted it.
Yep.
And you saved your creature.
And it's still in play, and then you attack, and they get another poison counter, and then the cycle continues. Oh my God. Yeah, this is nasty.
This is a nasty card, yeah.
And you are going to see it. I guarantee it. In everything. So have fun with that. Thank you, Watsy. All right. Let's see what the last one is.
All right, we got Zopendral Hunger Dominance. 5 green green for a 4/6 Phyrexian Horror with Reach. At the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. And then it has green green or Phyrexian. It's Phyrexian green green. Sacrifice 2 other creatures. Put an indestructible counter on this. So realistically, because it's everybody's combat, this attacks and blocks because it's every combat. This is a 8/12 for 7 with Reach.
Yep. That seems pretty good.
And everything else you control is better.
And then your other shit's also doubled.
Yeah. Your 2/1/1s are 2/2s.
Yeah, and your 5/5s are 10/10s. Like, okay.
Seems really good.
Seems good. Okay,
and this is legendary. You could play this as
a
commander, and then you could play like the old school Thorn Elemental and
Pride of Lions,
like all those shit. Yeah, and like it's dealing double.
Oh God, 14 damage to your face. How about that? Oh God. So green's really good. This is probably the best color by far, in my opinion.
Yeah, green's the best color.
Dear Lord, what the hell are they doing?
They're making green good again.
Yeah, make green
it's already
good again.
Good, but
it's been good. Now
it's been good.
Insane.
It took like here's a 1 or 2 good cards a set while we up the power level of white, and now here's a bunch of good green cards again.
So like green just J curve up. Like, oh my God. Like, yeah, the other cards, I'm like, these are good. This has got playable stuff. Like, yeah, blue's doing blue stuff. Black's doing black stuff. Like, white's doing things. Green's just like, I'm just going to fuck your day up, man. Like,
yeah, exactly. I'm just going to make you hate the game of Magic with poison counters, and or I'm going to fulfill the biggest Timmy in everybody. Just play big things.
Just play the big stuff. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love this so much personally, but I am also gonna hate to play against a lot of the stuff because it's going to happen. You are going to see a lot of the stuff played against you, and you're gonna hate your life. So, yeah, can't wait for that.
So far, green's the best color for sure, right?
Yeah, it's the best one. So now we will move on to the multi-section here. So first of all, we got Malcater, Purity Overseer. It is 1 in Azorius, or white and blue, for a 1/1 legendary creature Phyrexian Elephant Wizard. When Malcater Purity Overseer enters the battlefield, create a 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Golem artifact creature token. At the beginning of your end step, if 3 or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control this turn, create a 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Golem artifact creature token.
Did you know there's such thing as a Phyrexian Elephant Wizard?
I did not. There is now, apparently.
So this seems really good as an artifact commander, right? Like you just gotta play, like dirtily artifacts, like the 0 cost or 1 mana rocks.
Yeah, just really cheap stuff.
Drop 3 of them and you're making 3/3s like crazy.
Yep, 3/3s are good. 3/3s are a good token. Like,
I mean, it being a 1/1 is like meh, but like it makes a 3/3 when it comes in. You can keep making 3/3s. So
yeah, you just make a little token army. It's not hard to do, especially in artifacts. Yeah, seems good to me.
Next up, we got new Kaito. So Kaito, the Dancing Shadow. Last saw him in Kamigawa?
Yeah, a while, yeah.
2 blue and a black. Comes in with 3 loyalty. Has a static ability of whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you may return one of them to its owner's hand. If you do, you may activate loyalty abilities of Kaito twice this turn rather than once.
Okay.
So if you hit him directly, you can activate it as abilities again if you bounce it to your hand. +1, up to one turn creature can't attack or block until your next turn, so you pacify something. 0, draw a card. -2, create a 2/2 colorless drone artifact creature token with Death Touch, and when this creature leaves the battlefield, each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. Okay, so it makes a token that you can swing with. They're not going to want to block it.
Yeah.
Because it's Death Touch. They take the 2. You then bounce it to your hand so the token's gone. They all lose 2, you gain 2, and then you can activate an ability of Kaito again.
Yeah. That seems pretty decent.
Yeah, he seems decent. I think he's good in the Rogues deck, like the unblockable Rogues deck.
This is kind of what the Rogue deck does, so...
And, I mean, he has 3 just, like, good abilities. He only costs 4. Yeah. It's good to get your, like, ninjutsu abilities if you have the ones, like, if you only have one ninjutsu guy, and he has, like, when it enters, do something, like the bounce one or whatever, you can keep replaying that because you could hit him and get it back to your hand.
Yeah, he's got a lot going for him. Like, just cheap utility and, like, good utility, too. It's not like, shitty stuff. Like, this is all very good things you can do.
Yeah, and it's good with ETB abilities, too, or leaves the battlefield abilities, or...
Yep.
Jutsu, Rogues, or if you just want to play them and just keep drawing cards every turn, you can do that.
Yeah, it's just simple. It's literally just a drawing machine if you want. Like, it costs nothing to do it. That's kind of nice. So, yeah, I always like to see that. And the fact that you can do it twice even, you can draw 2 cards. Like,
yep.
Or draw a card and do something else. Like, there's so much potential here.
You have the unblockable guy that when it deals damage, you draw cards, then you draw a card, and then you activate this, and draw 2 more cards.
Just draw some more cards, yeah. Seems good. All right, next we got Venser Corpse Puppet. It is Dimir, blue-black, for a 1/3 legendary Phyrexian zombie wizard creature. It has lifelink and toxic 1. Whenever you proliferate, choose 1. If you don't control a creature named the Hollow Sentinel, create the Hollow Sentinel, a legendary 3/3 colorless Phyrexian golem artifact creature token. Target artifact creature you control gains flying and lifelink until end of turn.
Okay, so this is a blue-black artifact creatures matter proliferate deck.
Yep.
Interesting. It's good to have a proliferate payoff, though.
Yeah. Like it actually does something.
Yeah, and I mean, in worst case, it's 2 for a 1/3 lifelink toxic 1. That's still good.
It's still fine by itself, honestly. For 2, like, that's not bad at all.
Seems like a
honestly,
cool card.
Yeah.
I don't know how much support it has to be a proliferate deck, but maybe it is.
I mean, there has been plenty of proliferate stuff like in blue, so I feel like blue could definitely support it, I would think. So it's probably got some use, for sure.
I mean, you'd also want to play playing artifact creatures, too, so...
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want the payoffs to work.
I guess you could play, like, the blue proliferate or proliferate cards, and then, like, black or just artifacts, like modular artifacts.
Just regular artifacts, yeah. Like the art-bound shit, any of that stuff, yeah.
And you can just up all the counters on it.
Yep, that works, too. And then you just move them around. So yeah, I feel like this has got a lot of potential. It's very cheap, too, so it's easy to do.
Next up, we got Kethek, the Crucible Goliath. There's 2 black and a red for a 4/4 Phyrexian beast. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, reveal cards on top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary creature card with lesser mana value. Put it on the battlefield, and put the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. So this you have to build around. You're going to want to build like ETBs with every mana cost type thing and just keep flipping stuff.
Probably. Yeah, I just want to keep flipping through.
Or things with dice triggers, I guess, would work too.
So it's kind of like... almost like a cascade in a way, right?
Yeah, basically. Basically, you set a creature cascade into another creature.
Mm-hmm. It's essentially what it is.
Yeah.
And
so you're just putting it into play instead of casting it, but yeah.
Right. Which is still good, honestly. So yeah, you just sack what you don't want and find something better, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it does the cost less. So like I said, I think you have to like build around that fact.
Yep.
So you're gonna want every like mana value. Be like, okay, I'm gonna sack my 5, get a 4. Next turn I'll sack the 4, get a 3. Next turn 3, get a 2, and hopefully
Yep.
they all have some sort of dies or enter the battlefield.
Dies or
Builds.
enters or sacrifices for some reason, or
Right.
all that stuff. Yeah, yeah. Interesting concept of a card, and I'm sure there's some kind of deck that can utilize it, but it's very very niche. So yeah, you definitely have to build for it. Next, I think this is a new Planeswalker. I don't remember seeing this one before. Luca, Bound to Ruin. It is 2 red, hybrid red or green Phyrexian green. For a legendary Planeswalker named Luca with 5 loyalty counters. He has the completed, so he comes into play with 2 fewer if you pay the 2 life. Has +1, add Gruul, green red. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of creatures. And then he has a -1 of create a 3/3 green Phyrexian beast creature token with Toxic 1. And then he has an alt of -4. Luca deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers where X is the greatest power among creatures you control as long as creatures or you
As you
control
activate the
as the activated ability. Yeah. Ugh, okay.
So basically, if they blow up your 7/7 with this on the stack, it'll still do 7.
Yeah. So they can't like stop it basically.
All right. So Luca, we last saw in Ikoria. He was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a ways back.
Yeah. That was his original printing was Ikoria, so he was
Okay.
a UD in Ikoria.
It's been,
Now
I
he's joined the
didn't remember him.
Phyrexians. I like the -1 of making a 3/3 beast. With
Yeah,
Toxic 1.
with Toxic 1 seems pretty good.
I
+1
mean,
to
it ramps as well. So
yeah, +1 to ramp.
2 mana creatures.
Which yeah, if you're playing a creature deck, that's what you're gonna do with it. So yeah, works great.
I
And
think
then
the
honestly,
seal
the
seems playable.
-4 isn't bad. 4 for an ult is fine. And what it does, if you have big creatures, it's gonna do a fair amount of damage, honestly. So you gotta take some stuff out.
Yep,
It's pretty good.
it's pretty good. Next up, we got Myglaw. This is the Maze Crusher. 1 red green for a 4/4 legendary creature Phyrexian beast. It enters the battlefield with 5 oil counters on it. And it has pay 1, remove an oil counter from it. It gains vigilance and menace until end of turn.
Oh god, okay.
It has pay 2, remove 2 oil counters from it. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn. And it has pay 3, remove 3 oil counters from it. Destroy target artifact or enchantment.
So in a proliferate deck, this is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, but even without, right? Like, it enters with 5 counters. The best mode is just 1 for Vigilance Menace.
Yeah,
right?
1 every time.
Just every single turn, swing with Vigilance Menace, 4/4.
You usually don't care about counters because you're probably going to play it in a deck that can give it counters in the first place. So you're probably going to just do that. And then the 3 is great if you don't have if there's something really crappy on the board that you have to deal with. You don't have to wait for like Corrosive Grip or something. You can just kill it with a creature, which is
right.
pretty
and
cool.
You're probably going to do the +2/+2 the least. Like,
yeah, that's the one I probably don't, unless you literally have nothing.
Like, yeah, you're only going to do that if they try to remove it or something.
Right, you need to buff it.
Yeah.
But usually you're going to have other ways to do that. But yeah, especially in a proliferate deck, this is very good. But on its own, it's also 3 for a 4/4. Again, good, really good.
Yeah, 3
plus
for
you can give it menace and shit.
That can do stuff.
Like, it does a lot of things.
Like, you could even 3 for a 4/4, pay 3, destroy an artifact or enchantment, and then still give it Vigilance and Menace twice in a row.
Yeah, like that's good.
Yeah.
And
if it's
it doesn't even like
if it's your commander, you just when it runs out of counters, you just keep attacking until they kill it.
Yeah, and it's like you don't even lose the creature like where we've seen some where you have to sack it or whatever if it runs out of counters.
Right.
This just keeps going.
Right.
It doesn't care.
You still have a 4/4. If there was no counters on it, doesn't matter. You still have
It's
a
still a
4/4.
4/4. Like, yeah. What's wrong with that? It's pretty good. I like this card. This card's very good. Next up we got Melira, the Living Cure. It is Selesnya, so green white, for a 3/3 legendary creature human scout. If you would get one or more poison counters If you would get one or more poison counters, instead you get one poison counter and you can't get additional poison counters this turn. Oh, I see what they're doing. Okay.
So it limits you to 1 per turn.
Yep. So they can't proliferate the crap out of you.
Right.
Exile Melira, the Living Cure. Choose another target creature or artifact. When it's put into a graveyard this turn, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control.
It's not bad. It's
it's like a regeneration on a creature.
Yeah, it's kind of like your Safi. It's kind of like Safi, right?
Yeah, it's a lot like that. It's a little
it also
different.
Nerfs the amount of poison counters you could get. So, like if they attack you with like a toxic forward, you only get 1.
Yeah, which that's a lot better.
Yeah.
And they can't like proliferate you or something.
So all you people that get mad about dying to poison, just play this card.
Here you go. This is your counter right here. It's going to help you a lot.
And then you can save something too by exiling it. If it's your commander, you can keep doing that because you just exile it, put it in the command zone.
Yeah, like oops. And it comes right back. It only costs 2, so you're going to see it a lot.
Yeah. All right, next up we got another Planeswalker, Kaya, the Intangible Slayer. There's 3 white, black, so 7 mana. For legendary Planeswalker Kaya with 6 loyalty. There's a static ability of having hexproof. So that's great on a Planeswalker. +2, each opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life.
That's good.
0, you draw 2 cards, then each opponent may scry 1. Okay. -3, exile target creature or enchantment. If it wasn't an aura, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 1/1 white spirit creature with flying in addition to its other types.
Interesting. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to get rid of your best creature, and I get a 1/1 spirit with flying version.
Yeah.
Exile your best enchantment and get that. I'm going to draw some cards, but I feel bad about drawing 2 cards. So you guys can scry 1. I don't know.
You guys can scry.
It costs 7 mana. Just draw 2. Don't make them scry. Like what?
Like why?
Like the +2 is really good.
+2 is awesome. Yeah, that's good.
It's also good that it has hexproof itself, so they can't just be like destroy target Planeswalker.
They can just kill it. Yeah. I don't know. This had a lot going for it, but it's a little lackluster, especially for the cost.
It does cost a lot. I do think that just being the fact that it has hexproof and you can exile stuff, so it's basically like you can remove 2 things, right?
Yeah.
Or you could draw 2 cards, so. And it's probably going to stick around for at least a turn or 2 because it has hexproof.
Yeah, it's hard to deal with for sure.
But I think it's still better if you can somehow cheat a Planeswalker in.
Yeah. If you can cheat it in and not pay 7, then yeah, you're going to have a much better time.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot harder if you have to keep paying that mana cost.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's a lot of mana.
It's good. It's playable. The 7 mana is the hard part.
Yeah. When I'm thinking 7 mana, I'm thinking it has a crazy ult or something,
Yeah, most of the time I'm not playing 7 mana cards in my deck unless they win me the game, and this does not.
Right. This does stuff, but
it's good, but it does not win you the game.
Not at all. Unfortunate. Next up, we got Raya Ivor, Bane of Bladehold. It is 2 in Orzhov, or white-black, for a 3/4 legendary Phyrexian knight creature with Battle Cry. So, been a while since we've seen this ability. So when this creature attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. At the beginning of combat on your turn, The next time target creature would deal damage or combat damage to one or more players this combat, prevent that damage. If damage is prevented this way, create that many 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature tokens with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. So this is like the kind of reverse of Hero Bladehold in a way.
Yeah, so you swing with something, and you're like, okay, this damage this turn's going to be prevented, but I'm going to make that many toxic mites.
Yeah.
So you get a boatload of mites, and then the next turn you swing with the battle cry, and all of them are going to get.
They're just all huge. Yeah.
They're all going to be 2/1s of toxic, yeah.
Which seems not bad, for sure.
That's pretty good.
Just flood the field.
Flood the field with poison.
Yeah, they're gonna have to respond to this basically, because this is gonna get out of control real fast.
Yeah, it's so like you could. I mean, if you choose itself, you're gonna get 3 tokens.
Yeah,
so. It's not bad.
Yep, I think it's pretty good.
Then the next turn, you probably choose a mite, and then it's like, all right, I'm gonna get 2 more mites, and the rest of the mites you have to block or take poison.
And then if you have like a doubling season or something in play, then it's going to do more than that. So, also very good.
It's got cool artwork too.
Yeah, no, it looks really cool.
Next up, we got Ovika, the Enigma Goliath. There's 5 blue and a red, so 7 mana for a 6/6 legendary creature, Phyrexian Nightmare. It has flying, ward 3, and pay 3 life.
Oh, dear God.
Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create X 1/1 red Phyrexian Goblin creature tokens, where X is the mana value of that spell. They gain haste until end of turn.
Oh, jeez. Okay,
so
this is good.
This is good for, like, this is why it costs 7, right? You play this, you're going to win the game by having this out. If you just cast non-creature spells, you're going to get a boatload of hasty tokens.
Good luck getting rid of it, too. Dear Lord. Not only do you have to pay 3 mana, you have to pay 3 life, too?
Yeah, you got to pay 3 mana and 3 life to target.
You had to bolt yourself, basically, to kill this thing. Like, come on.
And pay 3 extra mana.
That's awful.
So, like, the best removals what? Swords?
Swords, yeah.
So, like, swords, you gotta pay 4 mana and 3 life to remove it.
Yeah, and then they gain 6 life.
Yeah.
On top of that.
Or with Path, they get a land.
Path to get a land, so that's a little less bad, but oh god. Okay, this creature is just it's so it's so resentful.
Yeah.
I love it.
So this is close to meeting the, if I play this, I'm going to win the game. Because if I play this and it sticks around more than one turn, it's like, oh, I'm winning the game.
Yeah. More than one.
Because I already have 7 mana. You're just going to be like, all right, cast something, get a boatload of tokens.
Especially if it's like a spell slinger deck where you're just casting spells left and right. Yeah, you're going to get a huge field of stuff. So, they're just not going to be able to deal with it. So that's great. Yeah, and it's a 6/6 with flying, too. Like, it's going to deal a lot of damage if it swings in. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. Right. Next up, we got Glissa Sunslayer. It is 1 in Golgari, a black and green, for a 3/3 legendary Phyrexian zombie elf creature with first strike and death touch. Whenever Glissa Sunslayer deals combat damage to a player, choose one. You draw a card and you lose 1 life. You destroy target enchantment, or remove up to 3 counters from target permanent.
Goodbye, oil counters.
Buy oil tokens.
I think the most common one you're going to do is draw a card.
Oh, yeah, totally.
But a 3 for a 3/3 first strike death touch is probably going to get in. So you're going to be able to draw some cards out of it.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, that by itself is good.
It's a pretty good value card.
Without the other stuff. Yep, it's got tons of value. Love that.
Next up, we got another Planeswalker. It's Tyvar, the Jubilant. Is that Brawler?
Brawler, yeah.
Brawler?
I'm pretty sure it's Brawler.
His fist is like covering.
It's hard to read it.
Yeah. So it's 1 black and a green. It's only 3 mana planeswalker.
Yeah, that's
Comes with
cheap.
3 loyalty counters. Static ability. You may activate abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures had haste. So you tap your
Okay.
creatures already for abilities. +1, untap up to 1 target creature. Okay, so you can activate an ability twice. -2, mill 3 cards. Then you may return a creature card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it
So it's like
seems
a
really
mini
good.
Sun Titan almost. Yeah.
This seems really good with like mana dork elves.
Yep.
Because like, oh, they all have haste, and I can tap and untap them, and then I can play them from the graveyard back, and it seems good.
Or just imagine this in like elves, like just elf deck, like
Yeah, that's
freaking
what I was
like
just saying.
heritage druiding and shit. Like,
Yep.
yeah, there's so much silly stuff you
Well,
can do
just being
with
able to
this.
like, I Priest of Titania twice
Mm-hmm.
because I +1, or like, and then they kill it, and you're like, okay, I get it back.
Yeah.
I got -2 to get it back from the grave, and then immediately Priest again because it has haste. Can activate abilities at haste.
I feel
It's
like this
very
could.
good in elves.
Yeah, this is insane in elves. I feel like this could almost like be a fork for like a infinite mana combo or something. Like because it's like untapping something for free and whatnot. It's like I
Yeah,
feel
it
like
definitely helps. I don't know because you can only use the
you
planeswalker
can only
ability
do it
per turn,
once,
but
but I don't
it
know. I
definitely
feel like
helps.
it could probably facilitate something like that for sure. But yeah, there's elves loves this. Like there's so much shenanigans they do with elves with this. Do well Witcher twice, I gain a bajillion life. Like
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do. So yeah, and it's so cheap. Like it's a cheap card.
yeah. It costs
So
3.
yeah, can't say much more than that. Like that's just really good. Next up we got Jor Kadeen, first Gold Warden. It is Boros or red and white for a 2/2 legendary human rebel creature with trample. Whenever Jor Kadeen, first Gold Warden, attacks, it gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of equipped creatures you control. Then, if Jor Kadeen's power is greater than is 4 or greater, draw a card.
This is okay. Like most of the time, you don't spread your equipment around. You just kind of Voltron it.
Yeah,
And if you put it all on this, it's going to get +1/+1, and then you're going to draw a card instead of trample.
which that's fine.
Like
That's probably what you're going to usually end up doing, I think.
where this could be good is if you played like a 4 Mirrodin deck
Yeah.
and played like everything in the set that is cheap and comes in with the 2/2 on it, or stuff
Then
with
this is
germs
just
on
gonna
it,
this just
and
gets
then you
huge.
can swing and this gets huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't. We'll have to see. I don't think there's a ton of support for it. I think it's like a mediocre card.
Yeah. I think it's fine for just being a 2/2 with trample that can draw you if it's bigger.
Right.
That's probably what you're going to use it for more, I think.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's the more common use case.
Yeah. And that's fine for its cost.
Next up, we got Nahiri. Completed Nahiri. So we got a red, a Phyrexian hybrid red-white, and a white, and it goes with 5 counters, or if you did the completed, it is 3. It's +1 until your next turn. Up to 1 target creature attacks a player each combat if able.
Okay.
+1, discard a card, then draw a card. And 0, exile target creature or an equipment card with mana value less than Nahiri's loyalty from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of it. That token gains haste. Exile it at the end step.
Jeez. Okay, so only pluses. That was fun to see that.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, you're probably just going to play this for 3 and 2 life most of the time. Because, like,
Yeah, I think so.
honestly, the 0 is okay. The best is the discard draw.
Yeah, discard draw is very
The
good.
0 is like, okay, you blew up my sword. I can bring my
I'm
sword
just
back.
going to get
for
my
a
sword
round.
back now. Oops.
Yeah, for 1 turn, because then it gets exiled.
Yeah.
Or you can, make something you have to attack.
Yeah.
She's okay. I can see her being played.
Yep.
Definitely is better in an equipment-based deck where you can actually use the 0.
Yeah, it's it's definitely made for that.
I mean, you could play it in a deck where you just want to loot over and over as well, but
yeah. I mean, it's Nahiri, so I mean, that's kind of what she's been for in the past, so which makes sense. But yeah, it's got some use for sure. Oh, interesting. We have a new Azuri. Azuri Stalker of Spheres. It is 2 green and blue for a 3/3 legendary Phyrexian elf warrior creature. When Azuri Stalker of Spheres enters the battlefield, you may pay 3. If you do, proliferate twice. Whenever you proliferate, draw a card.
so that's another proliferate payoff.
Nice. That's that's a big payoff too.
I don't know how often you're going to pay 7 to proliferate twice. I feel like you're more likely to play this than just play some of their cards once you proliferate and keep replenishing it. That's good. I mean, you could build a proliferate.deck with this and just draw a bunch.
Yep. It's going to be a big draw engine for you if you have the right kind of deck for it. You're just going to keep drawing. So yeah, that's good.
Next up, we got a new Atraxa. Atraxa, the Grand Unifier. It is 3 green, white, blue, black. So 7 mana for a 7/7 Phyrexian Angel, legendary creature. Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink. When Atraxa Grand Unifier enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each card type, you may put a card of that type from among the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Card types are Artifact, Battle, Creature, Enchantment, Instant Land, Planeswalker, and Sorcery. So from reading this, it sounds like they're going to get rid of Travel and make some new thing in a future set called Battle.
Yeah, whatever that means. I guess we'll find out.
But basically, you're revealing the top 10, and you can put, an artifact, creature, enchantment, an instant, a land, a planeswalker, a sorcery in your hand.
Yep. And battle, I guess.
Yeah.
I
mean,
flying,
odds are you're going to hit a couple of those.
Yeah. Flying, Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink. That's a lot of keywords.
Yeah, I think the original Traxa has all those keywords too.
I think so. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's been a long time since I looked at it, so I don't know. But
yeah, I think the other one's better in this set because the other one proliferates. I think.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, it's got some card draw in there.
Okay, yeah, it's just more card draw.
And it's a 7/7. Big 7/7.
Yeah. Big boy 7/7. If you're playing those colors, it might be good for you. So that's the multi-cards. Definitely some powerful stuff in here.
Yeah, lots of good multicolored cards, lots of planeswalkers.
Yep. Always good to see some really good planeswalkers too. Some good utility. And a lot of just a lot of pieces that really make some of these decks run that are included in here. So be interesting to see.
Cards to play as commander as well.
Yeah, some good commander possibilities for sure. All right, so now we are on to the artifacts. First to go, we got Argentum Masticore. It is 5 for a 5/5 artifact Phyrexian Masticore creature with first strike and protection from multicolored. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Argentum Masticore unless you discard a card. When you discard a card this way, destroy target non-land permanent and opponent controls with mana value less than or equal to the mana value of the discarded card.
Okay, so it sucks that you have to discard a card. It's like if you don't have any discard, you're going to lose your guy. But you get to blow up stuff for whatever you discarded.
Yeah, so you're just you're every turn you're just destroying their stuff basically.
Yeah, I mean you're probably gonna pitch your lands first to be like, all right, to pitch a land that can blow up a token or something. But,
yeah.
I mean, unless they have something, you're like, I'll pitch this big thing, destroy your thing.
Mm-hmm.
It seems okay. It's an okay card.
Yeah, it's a fine trade-off.
You're just gonna get 1 for 1 on everything, basically.
Yeah.
Until you run out of cards in your hand, and then
Then you just lose
you're
your
screwed.
creature. Yeah. Which, that kind of sucks. But
in a blue deck where you draw cards, this might be all right.
yeah, if you have a ton of card draw, you probably don't care. But depends, I guess.
Next up, we got Graz, the Unstoppable Juggernaut. All right, big ass Juggernaut.
Yeah.
8 mana for a 7/5 legendary artifact creature, Juggernaut. Juggernauts you control attack each combat if able. Juggernauts you control can't be blocked by walls. Other creatures you control have base power and toughness 5/3 and become Juggernauts in addition to other types.
Juggernaut deck, anybody?
Yeah, Juggernaut Commander.
Let's go.
All of my creatures Juggernauts. That's
awesome.
crazy though, because if this is your commander, you can play like Ornithopter. My Ornithopter's now a Juggernaut.
And it's a 5/3 base toughness and power. Like, okay. That seems good.
5/3
because nothing literally to play. And they have flying. Oops.
It seems like a fun deck. I mean, you'd have to have a lot of mana rocks to ramp into the 8 mana.
Yeah, you're probably gonna want to play like Urza, Tron, and stuff like that.
Because especially since like you could swing with everything and they could just blow this up in response.
Yeah,
and then all your stuff is not.
That would suck. You probably want to get something that gives it hexproof or something like that, so it doesn't
or indestructible happen. Or something.
Or indestructible. Yeah. Fun idea though. This just seems like a fun deck. So
it seems like a fun meme deck.
Yeah.
Juggernauts.
I always love that. All right. Next we got Miran's Safe House. It is 3 for an artifact. As long as Miran's Safe House is on the battlefield, it has all activated abilities of all land cards in all graveyards. Wow.
So that's good. If someone blows up your cradle or blows up someone's Cabal Coffers, this now has those abilities.
Yeah, and it's not just yours; it's everybody's. It looks like so. That's pretty sick.
You blew up my Caracas and Mazavith. Well, now I have an artifact that has.
No, I have all of them. Oops. Now you get to deal with it.
Yeah, if your play group plays with a lot of fancy lands with different abilities, you probably play this in your deck.
Yep. This is going to be a nice.
If they don't, you're not going to play this.
Yeah, this is useless then. At the very least, your deck has to have some.
Yeah, it actually seems pretty good in just like a Lands Matters deck that's your own, because like you could wasteland stuff off, and then you could use this ability, or you could sack lands off or whatever, and then bring them back, use their abilities. So.
It's fine in like a Life from the Lum deck or something like that too. So
yeah. All right, next up we got Monument to Perfection. Costs 2 for an artifact. Just an artifact. It has pay 3 taps, search your library for a basic, sphere, or locust land card. Reveal it and put it into your hand and then shuffle. So you can get a basic land card. A sphere is the new land card types that come in tapped and you can sacrifice them to draw. And then locust lands are like the Cloud Posts.
The Cloud Post, Glimmer Post,
Yeah. And then pay 3, Monument to Perfection becomes a 9/9 Phyrexian Construct artifact creature, loses all abilities, and gains indestructible and toxic 9.
Oh,
activate this only if they are 9 or more lands with different names among basic, sphere, and locust lands you control.
Okay, so that's kind of hard to pull off, but if you do, you win, basically.
I mean, it only gives them 9 points encounters, but yeah.
You basically win.
Basically win, yeah.
It's a 9/9. Like, come on.
Seems like a sweet deck. Like, you're just going to play... Yeah. Like, you're going to play, like, 5-color artifact locust sphere lands deck. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like it kind of like it's like a Voltron deck in a way, but it's just Voltron on its own.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously would need something else in the deck. It's just like part of your strategy, right?
Yeah, this is
it doesn't do anything after you have a 9/9. Like,
yeah, you need a way to get.
You need to play the game until the point where you get.
Yeah, there. Once you get there, yeah, sure, then you play this and win. But You gotta make it that far first, and that's not exactly an easy condition to hit. So you're really gonna have to build for it if you're trying for it. But yeah, this is cool. Next we got Soulless Jailer. It is 2 for an artifact Phyrexian Golem creature that's a 0/4. Permanent cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast non-creature spells from graveyards or exile. So this shuts off all shenanigans, basically.
Yeah, don't play this against me. I will not like it.
Yeah, you're gonna hate it.
I play a lot of graveyard decks. This shuts it off.
So much hate.
Yeah, it hates against graveyard decks, so you're gonna play it against those, otherwise you're not.
Mm-hmm. It hates it against graveyards, and it hates it against like wishes and that kind of stuff too.
And flashback and all that.
Flashback, all that stuff. Yep, it's a nice sideboard.
Next up, we got Staff of Completion. Ooh, new staff. All right.
Yep.
3 mana for an artifact. 3 mana with an artifact. It is tap, pay 1 life, destroy target permanent you own. Okay. Tap, pay 2 life, add a mana of any color. Tap, pay 3 life, proliferate. Tap, pay 4 life, draw a card. Pay 5, untap it. So it's like Staff of Dom, but you have to keep paying life instead of to do things.
It definitely does a lot.
Yeah, I don't know when you'd want to blow up your own thing, but
maybe if you have dice triggers. You want to hit some dice triggers, possibly?
Or you have the thing that's about to kill you with the oil counters running off.
Yeah, or something like that.
But is it worth it to pay 4 life, draw a card?
I don't know.
Is it worth it to pay 3 life and proliferate? I don't even know if it's worth it to pay 2 life to add mana.
It's one of any color, granted, but...
Yeah, and you can pay 5 to untap it. So if you have some infinite mana shingle, but it's like, why would I want to pay all this life to activate these abilities?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It doesn't seem that good to me.
I mean, sure, life is a resource, but some of these are a lot of life.
Like I might consider paying the 4 life draw card if I'm playing like mono white.
Yeah,
and I don't have card draw. But like if I'm looking at a black deck, I'm not playing this like at all.
Yeah.
A blue deck, I have better rated draw cards because the draw card's the best mode, right? I mean, proliferate is pretty good too. Yeah. I don't know if it's worth 3 life though.
3 life is so much.
I don't think mana's worth 2 life. Blowing up your own thing for 1 life could be worth it, but I don't. You need some weird combo with that.
Depending on what the card is.
Yeah.
So I'd have to.
Someone would have to show me some busted combo.
I'd have to see this
on board with it.
In game to see
because
how it really
plays. As of right now, I'm thinking this is the mythic rare you do not want to open.
Yeah, it seems.
There's always one you don't really want.
It seems okay, but yeah, I'm just not seeing it. Like it looks on paper, it looks like it has all this stuff that it can do.
Like it looks good, it's flexible, it can do all these things, but it's like, how much life do I really want to pay to do all that stuff?
Even like
Sylvan Library, Sylvan Library, you're paying for to draw a card, I guess, but you get 2 cards for that, and it's only 2 mana.
It's 2.
It's not 3.
Right. I don't know. We'll have to. This is a wait and see card for sure.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens with it. Next, we got a sword, guys. Sword of Forge and Frontier. It is 3, like any sword, for an artifact as an equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has pro red and green, as you would expect. And its equipped is also 2, as you would also expect. And then its ability is whenever an equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. You may play an additional land this turn.
So impulse card draw, you get to play an additional land.
But you expect red and green. Yep. Makes sense to me.
Seems like a good card to me.
It's a sword. I mean, What'd you expect?
Another colored pair of swords. We're slowly. I don't know if we have them all made yet or not. But
I think we're close. We're definitely getting there. Yeah, we'll love to see it.
Next up, we got the Tablet of Completion. 2 mana for an artifact for tap. It has tap, put an oil counter on it. Tap, add a waste. Activate only if it has 2 or more oil counters. Pay 1, tap it, draw a card. Activate only if it has 5 or more oil counters.
So if you're like in a proliferate deck, this could be okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you could pay 2, tap, put an oil on it, proliferate, and then you're tapping it as a mana rock, and then eventually you get to 5 and can start drawing cards with it, that's fine.
Yeah,
if you're
that's
a proliferate
fine.
deck.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's bad, right?
Like, it's take forever. Yeah.
Like, enter 2, play this, wait 5 turns, 4 turns
just
to start drawing
draw
cards.
A card. Yeah. That's not amazing.
I feel like if that was the case, you would maybe play it as the rock because you just only have to tap it twice. But
yeah,
the draw cards is what you want, right? Like,
yeah, that's definitely what you want.
So
because it's literally just 1 and tap it. Like that's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like in you really only want to play this on like a proliferation deck. That's the only real way this is going to be good.
Yeah.
Next we have the Filigree Silex. It is 2 for a legendary artifact. Tap it, put an oil counter on the Filigree Silex. Tap it, sacrifice the Filigree Silex, destroy each non-land permanent with mana value equal to the number of oil counters on the Filigree Silex. Tap it, remove 10 oil counters from among permanents you control, and sacrifice the Filigree Silex. It deals 10 damage to any target.
So, at worst case, this is like a ratchet bomb, right? Because ratchet bombs like tap, put a counter on it, and eventually you blow up everything equal to the counters.
Right. Or explosives.
But if you have a deck built around oil counters, you could have a few permanents out, and you just have to remove 10 total counters from all of your stuff and deal 10 damage for 2. Seems good.
It's pretty good, yeah.
So,
that's
late game, that could
mana
be good.
cost. Yep.
I feel like that's the better build around ability than just having like another ratchet bomb effect.
This ratchet bomb on its own is kind of.
It's meh. It's an okay card.
And we have explosives now,
it's
which is
honestly
modern, better. But... So, like engineer explosives is like better,
right?
Because you just play it as the cost. You don't have to wait forever to put it where you want it.
Right. When you move proliferate, you can make it count up faster too, but.
Right, yeah. I mean, that helps, obviously.
But you're definitely playing this for the last effect, I feel, where you're just going to... I snipe something for 10.
It makes it so much better.
10 to someone's face for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Is good.
10 to someone's, like, planeswalker, whatever. Like, yeah. That's what you're going to want to do.
All right, next up we got the Zenith Chronicler. It's 2 mana for a 3/1 artifact creature, Phyrexian construct. Whenever a player casts their first multicolor spell each turn, each other player draws a card.
Okay, so multi-hate. That's
Groupon.
Interesting. Here you go. You didn't play multi. You draw.
You played a multicolored spell. Everyone draws.
Yep. That's kind of funny. So yeah, especially if you're like an artifact deck, you're gonna love this. Because you're not gonna make people draw, but
it's a mediocre card, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could play this if you're an artifact deck too, just to draw some cards and we could play stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's not bad, but it's fine, I guess. So that's artifacts. Yeah, we have a sword. That's cool.
Yeah, the sword is the best one.
Obviously, this is going to be the best one. The Miran Safe House is pretty cool. Soulless Jailer is a really good sideboard card. The Juggernaut's just fun. I mean,
yeah, I kind of want to build that deck just for the memes.
I just want to just see it for the lols. Like, that's a card.
We need to play a completely colorless deck then, though. But
yeah,
seems interesting. All right, so let's move on to the lands here.
Right. It looks like we have the aggro lands we made.
Yes, we do. So that's you want to read what the first one does.
Yep. So we have Seacrum Coast. So if you weren't around for, I think these were Besieged was when these were first. Uh, or Scars. Oh, Scars. When the original aggro lands are made. So Seacrum's Coast it enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands. And it taps for a plains or a island.
Yeah, and then we got the Dark
Uh,
Shores is the blue-black. Blackleaf Cliffs is red-black. Copperline Gorge is red-green. Razorverge Thicket is green-white.
yep. They all do the same thing.
Now the next land we have, it's a new one called Mirix. It is a land with the Sphere subtype. Remember that was mentioned earlier.
Yep.
Um, it has tap at a waste. It has tap, add a mana of any color, activate only if Mirix entered the battlefield this turn. So the turn you played, it can add mana of any color. It has pay 3, tap it, create a 1/1 Phyrexian Might artifact creature token with Toxic 1. This creature can't block. That's really good on land.
That's sick, honestly. So it creates dudes, and then it can also give you color when it first comes into play, and then just
And then
colorless otherwise. Yeah. Which that's a versatile land. That's pretty cool. Yep. Then we got the Monumental Facade. It is another sphere land. The Monumental Facade enters the battlefield with 2 oil counters on it. It has tap, add a waste, and it also has tap, remove an oil counter from the Monumental Facade, put an oil counter on target artifact or creature you control, activate only as a sorcery. So this aids your oil token creatures or permanents, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it itself just has 2 oil counters, so it's 2 closer for that thing needing 10 to face somebody.
Yeah, just face someone.
Next up, we got the Mycosynth Gardens, another sphere land. That's tap at a waste. Pay 1, tap it, add a mana of any color. Pay X and tap it. The Mycosynth Gardens becomes a copy of target non token artifact you control with mana value X. So
Okay.
I could pay 1, tap this, and I now have another Sol Ring.
Yeah, that seems really good.
Or
It is a lot of
zero tap this, I now have another Mana Crypt.
yep. Also very good.
So it seems good at copying your mana rocks.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, your like arcane signets, your whatever else, or you could have it copy something else. You know that you're.
You could,
know,
you realistically,
wanting-
you could pay like 11, copy your own Blightsteel, but
Yeah, you can do something like that.
that.
You win the game when you have one on the field.
I feel like you're playing this in the land spot. You're more likely to copy one of your rocks with it.
Yeah, definitely. And finally, we have the Seed Core, which is another sphere land. Tap it to add a waste. It has tap it, add 1 mana of any color, spend this mana only to cast Phyrexian creature spells. And then it has Corrupted, where so when that happens, tap target 1/1 creature gets +2/+1 until end of turn. Activate only if an opponent has 3 or more poison counters.
So you can make your mites into 3/2s.
Yep, which is pretty cool. Or any other tokens you might have. So there we go. That is the whole set of rares and mythics, at least.
Yeah. So obviously, if you guys want to pick up any of these cards, check out the TCG Player affiliate link in the show notes.
In the link or the notes, yes.
It's also on the website.
Description. That's what I was looking for. Yes, indeed. So this is going to be a really fun set.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this set.
We're actually going to be drafting this, I believe, right? Or no, that was Brothers War. Never mind.
Yeah, we're drafting Brothers War tomorrow.
We're not doing this one.
But we will be doing this one at some point, probably.
Yeah. Once this comes out, we'll probably be. Yeah, this is gonna be fun as hell.
The pre-release is in like a week, so.
Yep.
I'll be definitely drafting it on Arena for sure.
At the very least, yes. It's gonna be a fun draft. There's a lot of good stuff in here. And there's a lot of stuff that I want to put in some of my commander decks that are also in here. So a lot of stuff to look forward to. It's a pretty sick set.
Yeah, and have a good one, everybody.
Yeah, with that, we will see you on the next one.